times where I've done virtual therapy with Kingston, and he like literally is like, "Bye," and he clicks it and turns it off.
Yeah, like 5 or 10 minutes into the session, we're like, "You're done?"
So speaking of chasing the standard, let's talk about the Broncos real quick. Obviously,
Good segue.
The Chargers fan base is really, really cool, really, really welcoming. Mostly, especially if you're at SoFi.
the preparation for
Where's my Jayhawk question at, man? That's what I want to know.
You
It's
want the
coming right
Jayhawk
here.
question. Oh, if they take one message from this book, I would say not to compare yourself with others.
What is going on, everyone? We are back live here on YouTube and X tonight with another episode of West War Room Rivals. Got Ethan and Austin here with me right now. Boys, we got Cody, who is kind of at work. Hopefully we'll get him here in a short bit. But first, let's give some shout out to our sponsors. Let's start with Troy and his team over at Field Ops Kansas. For all your court markings and field marking needs, make sure to hit Troy and his team up today. Angie and her team in Emporia State Federal Credit Union, the war room banking of choice. And Jeff and his team, JBW Solutions, as we are recording live out of the JBW Solutions studio tonight. Boys, how you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Great.
Ethan obviously got some golf in today. Yeah, man, I'm super jealous about that.
Yeah, I golfed this morning. I've been doing some editing, created some clips. Hopefully you guys saw them. Pretty standard day. Went grocery shopping. So easy summer day now that I'm on break.
There you go. All right, boys, we got another special guest with us tonight. You guys may recognize him on X, Mile High Monsters. Let's go ahead and bring on Mike to the studio. Mike, how you doing?
Good, guys. Good to see you. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for joining. It's the legend himself, right? We've been spreading that the last couple of days.
It's only because I'm old. You guys can call me a legend. I've literally never done anything legiondary in my life, but I'll take it. I'll take it. The legend.
You shot a 32.
I
to
did.
Me, that's legendary.
That's pretty legendary. Yeah.
So
I feel like you got to get like a plaque and put it above your like.
I've shot a 29. That goes on the plaque.
Shot a 29.
I did. Yeah, 4 times. Can't missed a putt for 28. Ethan, I missed a putt for 28 twice. I told you how long I've been playing golf. I don't think I'm there's no danger of me breaking my own record at this point. It's never going to happen. But those were
you
back
can't
in the
say.
day.
You can't say you've done nothing legendary and then say I shot 29 multiple times. Like, come on.
4 times.
My wife would remind me
Not a hole.
that I've done way too many legendary things. Probably not in the best way, but no, it's great to be here. I love your guys' show. I love the content you guys are putting out, and it's an honor to be here with you guys tonight. I really appreciate it. Talk some AFC West. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, we're very excited to have you here. Obviously, we've been following what you guys do over there. I know Ethan watched some, and I watched some of the episode last night. You guys are live on X, so let's kind of dive into the state of the division. So, which AFC West team has improved most this offseason?
It's honestly, it's a great time to be an AFC West fan. All the teams, for once, it's been a long time since every team in the AFC West can sit at home and honestly believe, you know what, we got better this year. We've got a chance this year. And that includes the Raiders. I mean, you brought in Kirk Cousins and you've got Mendoza, your first round pick. We love Kubiak. He's a little Bronco in our hearts. So we love the coach. So even the Raiders fans can feel good and not just tweet about how it's their year. It could actually be a good year for them this year. And it's fun. It's always fun to watch the Raiders fans, how it's going to be their year. But I mean, as a Broncos fan, we went through 10 years of absolute hell. So I get it. But I think the AFC West, if you're asking me who improved the most, it's probably the Chargers for me. I like their offseason. I like bringing in Mike McDaniel, the way they doubled down in that running back room. I think, I wouldn't say they doubled down in it, but they've got a nice room now. Amari and Hampton, of course, needs to stay healthy, but my worry for them isn't that they didn't get better. It's was it Slater and Alt?
Yeah.
I'm still worried about them. I guess minicamp, they were saying that they still weren't out there with the starters, even, just in the shorts and stuff. I don't know, Ethan, if you saw something different, but
No, they practiced today.
They were at practice, but I didn't know if they were actually like.
Oh no,
Like,
they didn't go through
in
11
the-
v 11, but
they didn't do.
Herbert didn't do 11 v 11 either.
Okay, so they're just keeping everybody cool. That scared me a little bit. I know the Broncos. Of course, I do a Broncos show. I know more about the Broncos than I know about your guys' teams. But
yeah, no worries.
The Broncos went a different route. They kept kind of the team intact. Everybody's going to know what they're doing, and then they just brought in a couple pieces I think that they really needed. They still got some work to do in that tight end room. We'll see. They brought in 2 new guys there, so they addressed it. But like what the Raiders did, I'm maybe not as sold on what's their the revolutionary running back of all time,
Walker.
Ashton.
Oh, you're talking about the Raiders?
Yeah, the Raiders. Excuse me. Like I wasn't as high on him as others. And then bringing in Mike Washington, I think might say that maybe they had some concerns there too. And then the Chiefs, of course, as long as Patrick Mahomes is standing on 2 feet, they're a threat. I think their defense is more of an issue. But as long as they have Patrick Mahomes, I'm scared to death of the Chiefs, especially at Arrowhead. So, but all the teams got better this year. So to pick one, I don't know. Probably the Chargers, I think, got better. But it's close. It's close. It's not the Chiefs, though. Sorry. I don't think they got better this year. But if they did, it's marginal. Yeah, but it's. I mean, geez, guys, 12 wins can probably win the AFC West this year.
Yeah,
so it's a race. It's a race to 12.
It's a gauntlet in the AFC West, and then we got to play the NFC West, right? Arguably the toughest division. So no, I agree. I think the Chiefs, they made minimal improvements, hoping that would improve other areas per se. So I think they're banking on small movements to have that. So, but I agree. I think the AFC West, maybe not this year with the Raiders, but at least right now, it looks like all 4 teams know what they're doing, and the Raiders haven't been able to say that for some decades now.
Yeah, it's like they have grown-ups running the team again. Yeah. I don't think we'll ever brag about the ownership group of the Raiders, but at least now it looks like it's being run like a proper organization. I like what they're doing. And it's good for the AFC West. And I agree with what you said about the NFC West. Easily the toughest division in football. But I would say the AFC West is arguably the second best division in football across the board. So it'll be fun playing them to see where we stand. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the 3 teams that we talked about out of the AFC West is in the Super Bowl this year to see probably meet the Rams or Seattle again. That's it's all too early, but that would be the dream, wouldn't it? AFC West against NFC West this year.
And it's in LA.
And it's in LA, which means the Chargers are out for sure because nobody gets a home Super Bowl game.
Well, the Rams did, and they won.
But would it be a home game anyway, even if it was there? I don't know.
Whoa.
I know.
Hey, they're getting fans now.
We're getting fans now.
Yes.
We have some fans.
You're getting fans now.
Yeah.
It takes a while.
We're trying better.
If you guys quit moving around, like the Raiders should talk, but like maybe just hang there for a decade or so, and then they'll come. So,
yeah, I wish they were still in San Diego, but
I do too. I still call them the San Diego Chargers on my show all the time. So
yeah,
I quit correcting myself.
Well, I gotta ask you. So since you said all teams are all improved, I'm going to change the question a little bit. And so what AFC West move this offseason do you think maybe got a little bit too much hype? What's something that one of these teams did that maybe you're not exactly sold on?
Wow. Good question. I don't like that the Chiefs traded away or let their cornerbacks go. I forget who they are.
Trent
McDuffie, Watson, and Williams.
I mean, signing Mahomes to another $500 million contract through 2033 is also crazy to me. But they'll figure that out. They'll kick the can. They'll make it work. I think that's overblown. But as far as a move, like I can't think of any. did you say overblown or not
Or just
enough?
something you got too much hype? Like, what's something you're not sold on that maybe fan bases are like, this is like, for instance, like the Chiefs, a lot of them are like touting like Kenneth Walker as what's going to save that offense.
I mean, that would be one. Because I know there was talk in Broncos country about going after him too. And the more people I talked to was like, dude, this guy lost his starting job. And I mean, he had a great Super Bowl, but I think he's a really good player. And I think he's going to play well for that team. That would be up there. That maybe Chiefs Kingdom is a little higher on it than maybe they should be. But I don't think nationally, I can't think of, I know this is a lame answer, Ethan, but I can't think of anything that, I don't remember really anybody. I mean, that was probably the biggest move besides the Jalen Waddle move out of the division. We all weren't that active in like big free agency, were we? I think the Raiders that overpaid that center, was talk about that. Like, that's a lot of money for a center. But God knows how that's going to work out. I mean, that guy could end up being a fantastic center. So I don't know. I know it's a lame answer to a great question, but nobody's ever asked me a question like that. And I just can't think of anybody that, like, if we would have done like a Garrett or Myles Garrett move, something like that. We just didn't have that. And if we did, that of course would have, been up there. But I think everybody did okay this year. I just think as a whole, I thought the AFC West all kind of kept it close to the vest and played it pretty well. Other than the Chiefs, I think gave away a little bit more than I would have liked to have seen them. If I were a Chiefs fan, I wouldn't. I'm worried about that defense a little bit there. But yeah, I mean, Jalen Waddle for us as a Denver Broncos fan, that was the move, and it was the move that had to happen. We lacked the explosiveness of a player like that. I think we as a fan base might be making more than that because we haven't seen him on the field. So maybe it's my own team that that one's getting blown out a little bit, but I'm so hyped about it that I'm probably one of the guys that's blown it out of the water. I'm just guilty. Yeah, I'm guilty.
Yeah. But I think this goes to what you say, like the AFC West had a good offseason. I don't think there was any move that would actually be considered like bad. Like we talk about Linderbaum. I thought it was a little overpriced, but you kind of have to do that when you're the Raiders. But it's not like they got a bad player. I just thought the price was a little high. But I think you answering it like that goes to what you said of, the AFC West just did really well this offseason.
I think so. Yeah. I think, and it just speaks to, again, it just feels like there are adults running all the teams now. And again, whenever I hear somebody complaining about, especially, fans, and it sounded like I kind of was too, but when they complain about how much we're paying a guy, like, oh my God, we're overpaying this guy. It's like, who cares? You pay what you have to pay to get somebody to come to it's not your money for one. They'll always find a way to fit it under the cap. And then, again, if he turns out to, not play well, it won't be because of what you paid him or didn't pay him.
Correct.
Like, it just doesn't, once they're on the field, it's just go play football. You pay what it costs to get somebody, to play for your team. And, God bless those agents, for getting that kind of money for these guys. So good on him. Yeah.
Specifically Kirk Cousins' agent.
We always say his agent.
Yeah, he's in the Brandt Hall of Fame, whatever, of money makers without actually doing anything. I have a bet, by the way, with one of my viewers, and I don't see him in the chat. I don't know if he's watching, but like that Mendoza's not going to start, and that Kirk Cousins will start the season. And I have a bet on that now.
Are you saying all 17 games?
This is no, just to start the season. That Kurt's going to start the season. Are you guys with me on that? And that Mendoza will start later, or am I losing?
Ethan talked about it the other night. We actually had a long conversation. So Ethan, I'll give this one to you.
I was the only one who said that. I think Mendoza is starting every game unless if he gets hurt. But everyone else, I think he'll start all 17 just because. I said the shelf life of Raiders head coaches and general managers is so low that I think they're going to get scared into like giving themselves the window of like, we need ticket sales. I'm not saying it from like a player perspective. They're just so fast to fire people that it's
All right.
hard for me to believe that like that those coaches, those general managers aren't going to push to give themselves the like we need to show something on the field.
Okay, Ethan, I'm gonna show you. This is where the old man comes in. Okay, this is how the game's played. So you draft a first round quarterback, first overall. Everybody's super excited. Okay, so they've already got the excitement part. Now, Clint Kubiak needs to win games, right?
Yeah.
He puts Kirk Cousins in. He plays him. They win or lose. If they win, he wins. If they lose, the fans start calling for Mendoza. You just wait. You wait. You think of like the Braveheart, gif with the hold. Yeah. And right before they burn the stadium down, hopefully you make it to week 12 for their break. They're off. Help me. They're bye week. You wait for the bye week. You start Mendoza. Okay. You win like 3 of the last, games or 4, and he looks good. You just bought yourself another season automatically. So it's like an insurance policy. Like he's not quite ready. He's still in the offense. He's looking great, and then towards the end of the season, you give him 5 games and you bought yourself another year. It's an automatic year extension unless you just totally like do the dumbest stuff. So that's how that game's played. So starting him early
have no faith
is actually more risky than waiting until your fans just absolutely force you to do it. And Kirk Cousins, poor Kurt, he gave us his best, but it didn't work out. It's time for the new guy. He's ready. And then everybody's excited again. So it's like you get a whole new start to your season.
New season.
And then, like Drew Lock. Remember Drew Lock when we did that? Drew. It was the same thing. Like Teddy. It's like, fine. Vic Fangio hated Drew Lock. It's like, fine, we'll play him. They put him in. And then the guy just went out and won games. And we're like, oh, crap. Now we got a court. Now what do we do? Well, I guess we're starting Drew Lock. Well, it didn't work out that way, but everybody was so excited. You wouldn't believe the Drew Lock hype in Colorado. It was just crazy. So I think they do the opposite. I'm not going to bet you though, Ethan, because you seem like a smart guy. And
we'll see. I don't know. My thing, it's not rationally. Like I also believe they should start Kurt. I'm just like the Raiders have something in the water there of like. They just don't know how to make a correct decision. So I just always assume they're making the wrong one.
I know. I just think Clint Kubiak's different. He just grew up around football his whole life. He knows how this game is played. He knows they didn't bring Kirk Cousins in there to just back up Mendoza. Give the guy a soft launch. They're not going to the playoffs this year. Probably, most likely, right? The Raiders in that division. That's a tough ask. So I don't know. I could be wrong, but I stay with my bet. And there's Cornbread in the chat now, so he knows what I'm talking about. You're losing, Cornbread.
And we talked a lot about it this offseason about he has a pretty good mentor in his dad. So obviously the Cornbread, there you go. But if things start going south, he can his dad's going to let him coach. Like his dad's going to let him do his thing. But obviously, if he needs it, his dad's a pretty damn good coach himself. So he's going to have, it's just one of those where I think.
Are you gonna bench Mendoza when he struggles?
Exactly. Yeah, that's
you got
not
Kirk
splitting it
Cousins.
up.
Like, the last thing you want is for the fan base to be chanting Cousins when you're first round draft.
Bryce Young. They kept going back and forth with him.
That's what I'm saying. You just can't. That's the last thing you want to do. I don't know. I want Mendoza to start just because I want to see the kid play.
Yes.
Like I'm always like, you drafted him in the first round. He's your quarterback. Period. Done. Go with it. Might as well start now. Let him learn on the job. It's the fastest way to learn how to play. But I just don't think Kubiak's going to do that. Not with Kirk Cousins sitting there. If it was Aiden O'Connell, then you know who your starter would be.
Yes.
But Kirk Cousins, man, it's like you can play competent football with Kirk Cousins if you can give him a little time. He still knows where to put the ball. He knows how to make the calls at the line. He knows to do all the pro stuff that Mendoza has never seen. Kirk Cousins can read defenses really well, and he won't do that well here because they don't have all the pieces they need there. But he'll play competently. and then he won't, and then Mendoza will go in. That's the way I think it goes down. But I've never talked so much Raiders football in my life.
no,
Actually, I'm
that's
enjoying
the
the
baddest
hell
thing.
out of this. Like, where's Cody? Is it Cody? Is that his name, right?
Yeah.
God,
Cody
he
was
missed out. He missed out on one of the greatest Raiders takes the show has ever seen.
Yeah.
Legendary, maybe legendary take. And
Well, yeah,
Keep it going.
Yeah, he has
what do you
us
think of
pulled up
Brock
at work.
Bowers?
what's
Yeah,
that?
he has us pulled up at work, and he's like, the one episode I'm missing, they're actually talking a bunch about my Raiders.
It probably says more about him than it does about us. So,
He thought he had to miss because he was going to get ganged up on. We see you. You're skipping. No, but the next one, and I think we know the answer to this, but I do think it's a 2-team race for this question. But I'm curious on right now. Obviously, it's early. There can still be some minor moves and stuff made. But right now, which roster do you think has the fewest weaknesses?
I think it's really close between the Chargers and the Broncos. I would see these kind of questions are hard for me because I don't just cover the Broncos. Like, I'm a huge Broncos fan and have been.
So say Broncos.
So it's Broncos, really. It's no, they just going down their roster and knowing their roster the way I do. I mean, you lost Franklin Myers last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like, they lost one piece of a defensive tackle who was a good tackle, but one piece of that room. But God, Roach and Jones were just right behind him waiting to play. You know, these are premium guys that just need, I think they're going to do fine. I think our weakest room is probably inside linebacker, but we've been, these guys have been playing in the system. And so Hufanga at safety can cover that for him. He can, come up and help cover that weakness. So, Ethan would have to say, more about his Chargers than me. I think they both have very solid rosters. Let's see who's healthy at the beginning of the season. But I think I would say Broncos is trying to be as unbiased as I can. Across the board, they're very deep in a lot of critical positions. This offensive line is the same line they've fielded for the last 4 years.
Yeah,
I mean, it never changes, and they're really, really good. And they've got some pretty good depth behind them. And I'm kind of an inside-out guy. Like, the lines, get the lines right.
My guy.
And the rest of it will kind of come together. And I think they've done a really good job of that. So, I feel good about saying that. I don't think anybody's going to call me crazy for it. Yeah, I think both the Chiefs and the Raiders do have some obvious flaws. But at least the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes, which always gives them a boxer's chance. So, it's going to be, like you guys said earlier, it's just a murderer's row for the AFC West this year. Whoever's healthiest at the end of the year takes care of business at home. And if you can just grab a couple of those NFC West games somehow, then you're going to win the AFC West. That's how it's going to go. Whoever can do that is going to win the AFC West. And I don't think the Broncos have ever, like with Bo Nix, has beaten the Chargers yet.
As Charger fans, they're very quick to point out that as well.
Yep.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. It's a real thing. So, like,
it is a real thing.
This year, the Broncos, were able to. Last year, we won the AFC without doing it. This year, I think they're going to need to split with the Chargers. Chargers are going to be pretty close.
They did split last year, but the problem is
but
Herbert was sitting in week 18.
Not with Herbert.
Yeah.
So it should have been. So it should have been a harder game then because Herbert wasn't in the game.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I mean, a Charger fan would tell you we would have won had we played.
Yeah,
Herbert,
half of the Charger fans would have said we'd won.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I meant. Like,
it would have just been me alone in a corner shouting from a corner in
a ball.
Yeah.
Rolled up in a ball. No.
I got a follow-up question for you.
Okay.
So, how much, if Jonathan Cooper is suspended, does that change your answer, or do you still feel fairly?
I've already factored in Cooper. I've factored him off the team already. He's minimum 6 games probably. Based on the charges and domestic violence, he will 99%. He's going to get a 6-game suspension already. I will be surprised if he's on the team. They did not allow him at minicamp. This is a mandatory minicamp, and they did not allow him there. I mean, if they loved this guy and wanted him to stay, they would have let him stay on the sidelines, be with the team, keep training with the team. They said, no, go take care of business. My gut, and I know people that cover the Broncos that are in the building who I talked to all of them offline. All of us to a T so far believe that Cooper's probably gone. Probably. Nobody said he's definitely gone, but it doesn't change my opinion because 2 reasons. One, I think he's a solid player. I think he had 8 or 9 sacks last year. He didn't have anything after like week 9. I think he had 1 sack after week 9. Yeah. So it's not like we're missing, our Nick Benito or something like that, which would scare me a little bit because our defense really is based on pass rush and the ability of our defensive backfield to cover long enough to get to the quarterback. So that one would hurt. But the Cooper one, I think Jonah Ellis and I think Hugh Robinson are more than capable of filling that. And then of course we'll probably sign Von Miller in a couple days, and so that'll probably happen. Let me just write that down. That Von Miller.
Yeah. Just
that's all the rage in Broncos country these days is bringing back Von Miller. So, anyways, but no, that doesn't move the needle for me. It's unfortunate it happened, but I think he's definitely out for 6 weeks. We'll see if he gets cut.
Yeah, and unbiased take for that answer is I think it was Broncos and Chargers too. What I lean towards is I like Broncos depth a little more in some premium positions than the Chargers. But I mean, if you look at ones across the board, I do think it's pretty even. Chargers are talented. You can't take that away. But I like the Broncos depth slightly more, which, again, that matters, right? Because, Ethan, offensive line injuries can pile up. So if I had to move the needle, I think Broncos just given depth. But ones across the board, I mean, it's Broncos and Chargers for sure.
Yeah, I agree. The depth is real, though. I mean, that's part of the roster, right? But yeah, you asked me about ones and starters. Yeah, that's super close. I think I did a show, I don't know, it was a month ago or so, and I just took like quarterback, wide receiver, running backs, offensive line, coaches, did everything and just ranked every team who had all the starters, just starters. And yeah, like the point difference was so close. Like you get 4 points for first place, third for second, or whatever the whole game.
Yeah.
It's off season. What are you going to do? And so, yeah, we went through it and it was very close between the Broncos and the Chargers. It was like neck and neck. So I agree with you. There. And, that what's great about that, I think, is for us is this is all going to play on the field. The one thing I will give the Chargers and the Broncos to think about, 2 new OCs.
Yep.
Mike McDaniel scares the hell out of me because he's just masterful, and I love some of the things he can do. Now I don't know if he has all the pieces he wants to do it yet, but we'll see because he does some really wild stuff. So he's just fun to watch his offense, and then of course, with Davis Webb in Denver, the little young phenom, we'll see what he's got. So probably a little extra point for the Chargers there with their new offensive coordinator who's proven. And then I just stopped talking. So when I stop talking,
No, it's cool. I can give my take. I actually think the Broncos are the best team, but I think by the end of the year, the pendulum could switch because I think the Chargers have a lot more young players that could turn into very good players. And so I think when we look at it, I think the core of the Chargers is so young that there's a guess of leaps with Mike McDaniels, but it's a question of what are those leaps going to look like? Because Amarian Hampton under Mike McDaniel I said it last night on the show, he could be the 20th best back in the league or the 5th. Like his range is going to be so big depending on the Mike McDaniels factor.
Yeah, I was a huge Amarian fan when he came out. Like I wanted us to draft him. Hated it when he went to the Chargers. So I agree with you. It'll be interesting to see what what McDaniel draws up for this guy. I think Herbert's going to love him. I think he's going to love playing for him. he's going to get some opportunities to throw some, some bombs that and make some big plays that he might not have had. Now, I think his wide receivers was it Lonke or sorry,
Ladarius McConkey.
McConkey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he healthy? Is he good to go? Or
Yeah, I mean he has a hamstring. They just pulled him out. He's doing all individual stuff.
Okay.
They said if it was actual training camp, he'd be practicing. I think it's just like a spring precaution. He probably had like one of those cleanup surgeries. And
well, we don't like to talk about cleanup surgeries in Broncos. So let's at ease on that. Like, let's not rub the salt in the wound. But still, it's fascinating. It's great to talk about the whole AFC West. It's a great format you guys here. I wish we had representation from the Raiders, but we don't. It's not like
it's just like the regular season.
It's almost like we're talking about the playoffs now because they won't really need to be here for that part anyway. When I think about it, it'll just be the three of us. I think all three of these teams make the playoffs this year, and but you guys are going to be at each other's throats, in December. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'll tune in for every one of these.
Yeah, I think let's go ahead and jump to the another thing where the Raiders have been irrelevant for a while. The most important position in football. It's quarterback. So, Corey, why don't you go ahead and kick us off with this one?
Yeah, so I asked the guys this last night. So I'm going to ask you kind of rank the AFC West quarterbacks entering into this upcoming season.
You guys are the worst. Oh, my God. I have so many people watching this right now.
Just put Knicks at 1. You just do it for your fans.
Knicks is clearly the best. It's not even close. Look, I just did this. It's crazy to me. Now, maybe you can verify this, but over the last 3 years, we've seen glimpses of the Patrick Mahomes that we're used to seeing. But it hasn't been the same. I don't know if that's what surrounds him or if, something's going on, but he's still great. Herbert is great, super talented. We get in these arguments all the time, and it always comes back to, well, what has he done? What has he done? And he chokes in the playoffs. And some of that's true. Some of this is all true. And Bo Nix, who of course is the best, is wildly inconsistent and terrible to begin the season. And then he plays better as the season goes on, and he plays better than almost anybody in clutch time. I think he was like second in the league. When losing in the fourth quarter, he was like second in the league. So in EPA and all that, like he's really efficient when the pressure's on. But that kind of goes into the type of offense they run when they're behind. He's really good at that. So to give you the best, it's not anybody on the Raiders staff, even though Mina Kimes and them would rank him Mendoza at 16. He's never taken a snap or whatever it was. But I would put I still put Patrick Mahomes first as the best quarterback. I mean, the guy he gets another year of my pass, and then I would say Justin Herbert, Bo Nix, and then whoever they put on the field. I mean, if I'm just being real with you guys, now I don't want either of those quarterbacks on my team. Bo Nix is the perfect quarterback for our team, and I absolutely love him. I'd like to see him come out. In fact, the Broncos are going to have to come out playing well this year. We can't do this, figure it out for the first 2 months of the season. Our 6-game opening stretch, we're shooting for 3-3, hopefully 4-2. That's it. I mean, it's an absolute just gauntlet. So, but I'm comfortable with still putting Patrick Mahomes first if he's healthy and can get out there and maybe get some help in the run game, which they did double up on running back, right? Because they got that Nebraska kid. They tripled up. Yep. We'll worry about the third. The Broncos tripled up on running back too, but I mean their first 2 running backs are looking pretty good. Like they get him a little bit of help, so it's not too crazy. So he doesn't have to do everything like old Mahomes stuff. Mm-hmm. I still think he's clearly. How do you take it away from him? It's like I don't know. I mean, it's going back to like the Peyton Manning years when you've got Manning and the Patriots, Brady, and you've got Breeze, and it's like who's the best? And it's like, well, they're all really good. I don't know. Just love your quarterback and go with it.
Yes.
And I do. Like I said, I wouldn't trade Bo Nix for any of them. He's got a lot of potential, and I love his fire. But I mean, I would rank them just like that. I would still put Justin Herbert just above him, and then put Bo at third.
So I think
Aiden O'Connell at fourth. Probably.
There you go. And I think with all this I think the bigger picture here is the teams have TBD on the Raiders, but all the teams have their quarterbacks. And like Chiefs have obviously had theirs, Chargers have had theirs. Denver, we had to go through a lot of shit to get to ours, and we finally got it. So just enjoy it, and that's what I wanted. Like
exactly, yeah.
We can post all these, Bo Nix, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, all this. Just Bronco fans and embrace this, like enjoy this, because you could end up being a franchise like the Raiders. Denver's just a few years ago, we were in the same exact position of, holy cow, when are we going to get our franchise guy? So like, I think all these teams and fan bases need to embrace the fact that we have our quarterback.
Oh yeah, West Room rivals. You guys are in the chat on yourself. 0-3 Knicks versus Herbert. You just can't.
Yeah, I wonder who wrote that. I wonder who wrote that.
Bo Nix outplayed Herbert and Dan Marino first 2 years. Yeah, he had historically 2 really great years, 2 of the best years of a rookie's ever had. So again, I'm not taking anything away from Bo Nix, but this is his year 3, and this is the year where historically you want to see your quarterback in the same system with the same coach make that to that next level. There were times we like to forget. You go 14-3, you tend to forget things. Like when the year the Broncos won the Super Bowl in 2015, and I'm trying to remember the last time you guys won Super Bowls for the Chargers. And I'm not telling you if you won it between.
I don't sit there and talk about rings from 1982 as a Raiders fan.
Right? Yeah, but
he's a Raiders fan. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
But anyways, yeah, it's anyways, you know what I'm saying.
As a Charger fan, I can go off about this. That's what bugs me the most is whenever Raider fans are like, no rings. And I'm like, you were born 10 years after they won.
Black and white television. Yeah, we won a ring. But the point was, though, if you go back and look at that Super Bowl team for the Broncos in 2015, you forget the warts and you forget the stalled offenses. You forget that, Osweiler played like 10 games and Peyton Manning was hobbling around, and like nobody was expecting the Broncos to beat Carolina in that Super Bowl except crazy people like me, but they did. And then so you look back at it and you're like, man, that was a team. They were 12-5, right? I mean, 12-4 or 12-5. I can't remember if the switch had been made yet to 16 or 17 games, but they were 12-4 or 12-5, and they were a great defense, but they were not an offensive juggernaut. Like they were just barely getting it done. If your team wins a Super Bowl, I guess my point is we went 14-3 last year, so we tend to think, wow, man, we've made it. A lot of those games were very frustrating to watch as a Broncos fan, and the offense was not getting it done. And we got bailed out by Bo Nix, but he put us in a lot of those positions too by the offense not getting it done early in the game. So I think there's room to grow for him, and I'm expecting it this year from him. So, I'm sticking with my rating, even though I probably just lost 1,000 subscribers from my show over on Mile High Monsters. But
let's not sit here and act like, Crawshaw did lead the NFL in punts last year. So it's like that speaks volumes on the offense itself. It's like if you're punting that much, that's not a good thing.
Well, it wasn't good enough, and the Broncos realized it, and that's why they made the moves they made. And I think they made the right ones. So, we'll see what happens, when the whistle blows. That's what's the beauty of football. You just never know. You don't know until the games start getting played. Somebody's going to come out of nowhere and be in the playoffs, and somebody that we're all expecting to be Super Bowl contenders is going to fall to 8-9 and, just go away. So, I'm excited about it though, man. AFC West it's going to be so fun this year.
Yeah, no, I like the quarterback rankings that you had. And I like the point of don't take it for granted, because I remember what my life was like before Andy Reid and like Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes came in. Like, that's why nothing can bother me what people say about Mahomes, because like I'm going to enjoy this, because we could go right back to like the Brody Croyle era.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
Trent,
You know,
Green,
yeah,
and
like-
all those guys, yeah.
Yeah, and like Brody Croyle never won a game as an NFL starter. Like, we kept rolling him out there for almost a full season, watching him lose. So it's like, I'm going to enjoy this while it is. And I think, you know, fans of Herbert and the Chargers and Knicks of the Broncos, like, definitely try to enjoy it. Now, I know the Chargers are coming off going from like Breeze to Rivers to Herbert. So you maybe, yes, you don't have that playoff success or Super Bowl, you know, history on your side, but you have had 3 good quarterbacks in a row that span like 30 years. So,
and they're always competitive. I mean, they're just,
Yeah.
the Chargers are just always competitive. And that's the thing. If you've got your Green Bay's a perfect example of that too.
Yep.
You just keep having one down the pipeline and you'll be fine. So,
Yep. No, absolutely. I absolutely agree. Ethan, I think you're up next.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go a little off script because I want to go off something Mike said. Mike, we put you on the stake a little bit. So let's put you back in the good graces. What's your favorite part of Bo Nix's game? Like, what do
There
you
we go.
enjoy watching the most?
here's something that I've noticed about Bo Nix, and I'm old enough to have watched every game that John Elway played. He's not the talent of John Elway, but he shares a trait with him that is so important to Broncos fans, and probably is an underrated trait of a quarterback. As the game gets harder and the more the pressure, the better he performs. So we were kind of talking about that with a golf analogy, Ethan. You know what it's like. Let's say you're playing and you're on the last hole and you look at the scorecard and you've never shot par in your life. Okay. And it's a par 4, you're sitting at 32. And it's like, all I have to do is par this hole and I will shoot par. There's 2 types of people. There's
yeah,
the guy
I'm shooting that
gonna,
right into the river.
He's gonna
right into the
shank
water.
that first one, he's gonna double bogey that hole. And then there's the guy that's like, well, I think I'll just birdie the hole and shoot under par. I'm not even thinking about par now. Now I'm gonna birdie this. Bo is the guy that's gonna go for the birdie. He does not break a sweat. He plays better the more that's asked of him. And he's proven that for 2 years. Like he can be frustratingly sloppy when the game's not on the line. But my God, is he dialed in when the pressure's on. He's got the clutch gene. And I think it's an underrated thing. Like, he's not somebody that's going to fold to pressure. The team might, but it's not going to be Bo. That's my favorite, probably my favorite aspect of his game, or his character trait or whatever. He's very fiery. He's seems a little quiet and underspoken, you know, when he's in public. But he is not that guy on the field. He's in coach's face. I mean, he's yelling at Sean Payton on the sideline. He's yelling at get the plays in. He's yelling at players. He's grabbing vets by the front of their pads and saying, you ran the wrong route, and pushing them away. He's been doing that since he was a rookie. So, and that's what you need as your quarterback. He has to be the leader of your team. If he's not the leader of your team, at least on offense, then you might not have the right guy. So I love all that about him. And his play is good. I mean, his play is really good, but it's not great. It needs to get better. But his clutch play is fantastic. And that's my favorite part about him. Like, I've said it a million times. We do these post-game shows after every game. And, you know, we talk online before, you know, right before we go on. And it's like, there was 50 seconds left in the game. We had to get within field goal range to win the game. Was there any doubt that we were going to get there? And we were like, nope. I knew Bo would get it there. All we had to do was stop him. And then I knew we were going to win the game. And it always came true. He's very good at that. And that's a nice feeling. And it's very reminiscent of Elway, who was very good at that as well, too. So I find that fondness to be heartwarming to have that. And I'll sacrifice some of the, you know, maybe some of the accuracy stuff and decision-making stuff as he's learning now for that. If that makes sense, Ethan.
It does. And Mike, I think the first time, and I'm the Chiefs fan, but I think the first time where I turned to my brother when we were watching a game and I said, Bo Nix is that guy. was his rookie year at Arrowhead. I mean, he marched right down the field to get in field. Now the field goal was blocked and the Chiefs still won.
Yeah.
The dude didn't break a sweat. Like he marched right down the field in Arrowhead as a rookie. And that's when the Chiefs were still quote unquote, like they were not last year.
The Chiefs were the Chiefs. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was that night. That was a heartbreaker game for Broncos fans because we hadn't beaten them, and to go there and do it, it looked like a sure thing. And so we were already, of course, it's probably our fault because we were already celebrating and changing the name of the show we were about to do to, this, and then it's blocked and you're like, you have got to be, thanks for bringing that up. Thanks for ruining my night.
But that kind I just wanted to prove your point that like, even it was a loss, but like that was because not veterans go into Arrowhead in that moment and don't even move the football a yard.
Yeah.
And he didn't break us. Like
he doesn't.
He didn't struggle to get down the field. Like he marched them with no resistance down the field.
Sean Payton holds a leash on him, the reins on him, pulls the reins on him for the whole game, tries to keep it close and win it with defense. And then at the end, he's like, all right, you know what? Go win it. And you know what the funny thing is? He did it every single time. You go back and watch. He never failed the team. Kansas City, he got us into field goal range, and they blocked it. The next week against the Colts, another heartbreaker. He got us down to one that they came down. We blocked, or they missed the field goal, and then they get that stupid leverage call. So they move them up and give them another field goal with no time on it. So we lost 2 games with no time on the clock, which was heartbreaking. And then the Chargers did a great job where Bo actually got us the lead, and then Herbert one-upped him and came right back with. I don't know how much time we left him, Ethan. You probably have it tattooed on your arm, but whatever it was.
Herbert, I was at that
game and snatched it from him. But it wasn't what Bo did. It's because the defense couldn't hold up. Like Bo did it he gave him the lead every time. Said, there you go. Did it.
Also, to Bo Nix's credit, even in that game, I think that play by Herbert that tied it is the best throw of his entire career.
That was it was just amazing.
Him rolling to the right as Nick Bonito is diving at as a rope to Keenan Allen 30 yards down the field.
Yeah.
I think is his best throw of his entire career.
Yeah.
Well, he's made a lot of amazing throws. I mean, it's just until he's on the ground, I'm always expecting them to make that play. He and Mahomes both. And by the way, watching Mahomes run for 17 yards when I could run faster than him is so frustrating as a football fan. Like, how does he do that? He is absolutely one of the slowest lumbering quarterbacks I've seen in a long time, but he knows when to run, and then off he goes. And it's like, 3rd and 14. And it's like, I look at people and I'm like, if Patrick Mahomes runs for this first down, I'm going to absolutely lose my mind. And then of course he does.
Every time my brother's like, Mahomes just going to run for it.
And he will. He'll just run for it.
Yeah,
maybe game plan for it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying. Maybe.
And people say Mahomes is sneaky athletic, and I'm like, he has arm talent, but like when he moves, it does look like slow motion.
It does, yeah.
So yeah, that I don't know. He out of these 3 quarterbacks, because we're not including the Raiders in quarterback talks. When it comes to the quarterbacks of the division, Mahomes is by far the least athletic.
Yeah, for sure.
By far.
Yeah, I would put Bo as the most athletic right now, and then gifted would probably, like Herbert is so gifted, but like athletically, like he's like a Houdini in the backfield. Like he's such a hard guy to sack. He's almost getting sacked. He throws somebody off his back and runs for 40 yards. He does stuff like that. So I don't know. Arm talent is a different thing. I think he's probably got the 3rd best arm talent right now, behind Herbert and Mahomes. I think Mahomes can still chuck that ball pretty dang well. So, but I don't think I think between he and Herbert for sure it would be for athleticism. But man, Bo's kind of a specimen, dude. He's kind of a monster, and he scares me a little bit because he's not afraid to take a hit either. So, let's hope
that's with all of our quarterbacks for sure.
What's the vote? Do the Broncos go? Do the Broncos beat the Patriots in the AFC game in the AFC Championship game with Bo Nix playing instead of Jared Stidham?
Yes.
We all agree.
Yeah.
Is it painful for you to know that? Like,
Yes.
it's painful for me to know
I tried
that.
to downplay it after the game when I was getting asked that question a lot. Because I did a TikTok live afterwards. Like, I held up my hand, and everyone kept asking, and I was like trying to downplay it, like, hey, but then now we're here in the off season, we're deep in, we're getting ready to start the season. You're sitting there like, damn it, that pisses me off a little bit.
There's no way Bo Nix loses the 10-7 game at home.
No, because you're able to use his running ability.
He would have just ran the ball.
Yeah.
He would have just ran it. He would have made that turnover. So that'll haunt us too. But we all have games that haunt us. And we'll just file that under the in the big file of games that haunt us.
I think that's only you guys. The Chargers have never had games that have haunted me.
No, never. I think you have.
See, for me, it was the D Ford offside game. And my brother, the asshole that he is, after the game, I'm frustrated because at that point, I wasn't used to winning, right? Like, that was so early Chiefs. I haven't really accomplished much in my lifetime. So I was a little more frustrated than I am, like, after the Eagles ass beating we took. I'm like, it's fine. I've won more Super Bowls than I'm used to. Everything's icing on the cake. My brother, the asshole that he is, and I'm frustrated. He's like, first time?
That's Tom Brady. Tom Brady did it.
That's what Tom Brady does. He's like, first time Tom Brady's done anything to you, like, welcome to the club. Like,
we kind of own Tom Brady. I think the Broncos are the only team he has a losing record to. Is the Broncos.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was a 500 or losing record, but they're the only ones.
Well, for the purposes of the show, ittle be a losing record.
You guys want to hear a fun fact? I never saw the Chargers beat the Patriots. Philip Rivers was 0-8 versus Tom Brady.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Damn.
And I never saw the Chargers beat them.
Is Philip Rivers a Hall of Fame quarterback?
I think so.
I think so. I think it's for different reasons than a lot of people outline. I think
because he had so many kids.
Yeah. And now Gunner is going to be probably a first overall pick here in a couple of years.
No kidding. First overall.
Well,
I mean, he's a 4-star recruit right now.
He's actually he's pretty good.
He is good.
Be a Charger. Be just in time to make him a Charger.
No, I saw that somebody did like
the Rams.
Somebody did one of those like 20-30 like mock drafts, and it had Raiders picking Gunner Rivers. I think that caused me to throw my phone out of a moving car window. I think that would quite literally be the worst nightmare of my entire life.
I was at a game. It was Philip Rivers and it was Jay Cutler on opposite field, and they were just yelling at each other the whole game, like "F you" and "You suck" in your face. And the Chargers beat us, and they were just laughing at us and making fun of it. They hated Cutler. Everybody hated Cutler. I always liked Philip Rivers. I mean, he's the guy you hate because he's not on your team, but if he was on your team, you'd love him. I mean, he was just tough as nails and really, really just a great player. Unfortunately, really sad that he like Marino, he never got the Super Bowl. It's just too bad. But
it was fun to see him play last year.
Yeah,
that was crazy. He came out and played pretty well too. Was he 44 or something?
When he's 44 years old.
Oh my gosh!
And we've had the former players on this. You always ask them, and it's always Philip Rivers. Trash talk. Chris Harris, Philip Rivers. Quentin Jammer. We had Quentin Jammer on. And Quentin Jammer was talking about what it was like practicing with Philip Rivers. So it's just like, oh, Philip was doing his part. So
it was always how fun his trash talk was. It was never curse words or anything. It's just like the old dadgummits.
Yeah. Guy never said a cuss word in his life, but he talked more shit than anybody I've ever seen.
Yes.
Sorry, I just said the S word on your show. Sorry, Phil.
That's
watching Phil.
Okay.
I didn't plug my laptop in. I can't believe I made it through 2 shows without plugging my laptop. I just got a thing that said your computer's about to shut down if you don't plug it in. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't do that. So we're good. We're good.
Perfect. And again, we do appreciate the time you've given us tonight as we come upon the hour mark. So we are going to get into our lightning round, which is, just some fun, kind of quick, reflective questions. So I'm going to ask you the biggest AFC West breakout player for you this season.
Okay, I'm going to go. It's got to be a Bronco because that's all I know. You guys will have your own. And it's not somebody you're thinking about. I think it's going to be Evan Ingram.
So you just need that so bad.
Evan Ingram. I need that so bad. We didn't target our tight ends last year. I think there was 76 total targets to our tight ends last year. We didn't even look at them very much. Davis Webb is going to look at tight ends. He's going to use the tight ends. Bo Nix is going to have to throw to the middle of the field up the seam. We're going to add that to the game. I think he still has a lot left in the tank. I went back and watched every play, every route he ran, and I've been saying this for a while, and I just got news from minicamp that he through all of OTAs and minicamp, he caught more balls than anybody else on the team. They are going to use him this year. And I'm sticking with my prediction that Evan Ingram's going to break out at 50 years old or whatever he is. He's going to have a breakout year. So that's the worst answer, but it's the one I'm sticking with.
No,
that game against the Commanders, when he caught that ball and flew like receiver speed, I thought that was
exactly
just like that moment.
Yeah, and I was like, see what he can do. Give him the ball, and then they're just like, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. So
and when we acquired Waddle, I kept telling Bronco fans on my TikToks like, hey, this is a good thing for Evan Ingram, and not only not just the receivers, but for guys like Evan Ingram, getting Jalen Waddle, that's going to free up Evan Ingram in the middle, those intermediate routes where he can be really, really good. So my breakout player for the Broncos this year was Q Robinson. So we were.
On defense, he would be the one on defense.
And that was
before the Cooper situation, of course. So I hate to say it, but it is. But
mine was Tyquan Thornton for the Chiefs.
Who is it for the Chiefs?
Tyquan Thornton, because I'm very anti. We should have gotten rid of Rice 3 years ago. But he's still going to be there. But I like what Thornton brings. They gave him some money, so he should see snaps. So. My favorite Bronco is Troy Franklin. That's why I was salty with the Waddle move, because I was like, Troy Franklin's going to break out this year.
And he still could.
He could, but it makes it more difficult.
I mean, as it sits right now, he's going to be our number 3 wide receiver as it sits right. He's going to get his opportunities. And just going back to what was said earlier, that like the Waddle move helps the running backs, the tight ends. And it's going to help Franklin too. You don't have to be a one-trick pony. So watch out for Mims. I mean, I don't know. It's tough, but for breakout, you can pick a wide receiver. I think Franklin was our second, with 700 yards or something like that. So it's not like, the wide receivers were, we had a bunch of 300-yard receivers. So if any of them gets, they could be called a breakout. But I love the Q Robinson, and I love. I still like my Evan Ingram one. It's just they're not as obvious, and it's going to be harder for them to do that. Like I would love to see Q Robinson get like 10 sacks this year. That would be like holy crap. That guy needed to play. So silver lining to the John Cooper stuff. That would be really cool for me.
Would Red Murdoch count? Because I caught some heat for putting him on one of my top 5 AFC West rookie list.
Well, no, I think to put him on a rookie list, I know you caught heat for that. No, I like that because, I mean, it's all projection anyway, but I do like that for 2 reasons. One, there's an opportunity there because of the linebackers that we have and what he's showing. So we're real high on him, but it doesn't really qualify for me, at least, as a breakout player, because a breakout player has to play in the league.
Okay.
And then break out. Like if you're a rookie, and if he comes in and starts and has 120 tackles and 4 interceptions and 6 sacks, it's not really a breakout. It's like, holy crap, we just drafted the greatest inside linebacker. So like, there's no room to break out for me. This year could be a breakout year, if you could call it one, for Bo Nix. It could be a breakout for Troy Franklin's another good one. RJ Harvey, if his shoulder's not messed up. Really struggled in the run game, but 12 touchdowns and a playmaker.
Yeah.
If he goes out there and runs for, if Dobbins, God forbid, J.K. Dobbins is a top 5 running back in the league when he's healthy, which he never has been. So I've got him, knock on wood, for the 50th time. 1,200 yards rushing, stays healthy all season. He's going to do it. This is the year. You
got to be right once, right?
If I keep doing it, and eventually he'll do it. But at least we hope. But I mean, RJ Harvey's another candidate too. So there's, you guys know your teams so much better than I do. I really don't. know, I couldn't even speak to your teams that much. I know your quarterbacks, I know your coaches, and I know your, you know, a couple of your running backs, a few of your stars, and that's about it. Like, I just don't. You know what it's like when you're doing shows. You guys are so lucky that you get to have these conversations all the time, and you know, so you know the other teams. Man, I couldn't even begin to pick who would be a breakout player on another team, but I like the Q Robinson one. That's a really good one, and they're really high on that kid at Dove Valley. So I could definitely see him. He's certainly going to be a big contributor to the team. But now Evan Ingram's going to get like 10 touchdowns and 800 yards this year. It's going to be incredible.
Going to be beautiful. Yeah. No, I'm a defensive guy, so that's why I was asking about Red Murdoch.
Oh, so you like boring football? Yeah.
I love
That's what I said. I'm like
totally the opposite of me. Yeah, I want points. I want to win 42-40 or something like that. I just want to be like going crazy. Do you remember the game against the Cowboys in Dallas? Peyton Manning.
Oh, yes. QB sneak.
51-49 or whatever.
Those are fun. Those are fun.
My wife and I are at that game, and we are in the stands right where Peyton Manning's running to us. And I remember when the play started and I started tilting my head, like, does that son of a bitch have the ball? And he just ran right to us. Dude. I was like, oh my God, this is the craziest game. And the Cowboys were killing us at one point. And I'm like, I'm going to go up and get drinks or whatever. So I go up and I hear the crowd go crazy, and I don't know if they returned a punt. I can't remember. And they went up even more. So we get back to our seats. Just a quick story. I'm sorry I took over.
No,
so my wife and I are sitting there, and everybody else has got their Dallas stuff on. We've got our Broncos stuff on, but we're surrounded by friends. Okay, so we're good. But they're all from Dallas, and you know we're their friends from out of town. And this one lady looks at my wife, and she goes, "Honey, I'm so sorry you had to come all this way just to see your team lose. I'm sorry." And we were like, that's fine. No problem. And then the comeback, and then it was like, next thing you know, they're all like cussing at their team. Two of these guys get thrown out. They're fighting. And me and Teresa are just sitting in the stands going, man, this is great. And then when they make that, like, that was one of the most, that was fun. Like, just scoring happening everywhere. I don't know. I love an offense that averages like 35, 36 points a game, you know, and maybe their defense isn't the best, but you know, I don't know. I just like that.
So you like the Bengals?
I love watching the Bengals play. If they had any defense at all, they would be terribly hard to beat. But
I like the Ravens Steelers games where it's smash mouth. Mm-hmm. Terrible offense, but both teams are kind of just murdering each other.
You like that?
Would
you like to add rain and like mud to it too?
Yes.
Like, if it was broadcast in black and white TV, would that be even better? So you just want like old school, like no forward pass, and just like
leather helmets,
full back drive, you know, dives and stuff. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. I know a lot of people, football purists, that seem to love that stuff, but I don't know. I mean, first of all, I'm weird. I think football's better on TV than it is in the stadium, for one. And then, because I've been to so many games, they're great memories. But like, you're at the game and there's a play, and then you feel like you stand there for 5 minutes while there's another TV break or something. Like, there's just constantly standing around doing nothing. And then if you're not in the south or the north stands, which is where you need to be, everybody wants to be on the 50-yard line. No. You want to be in the end zone facing out, because then you can see all the plays happening. When you're on the side,
all 22.
It's just all this. Yeah, it's like watch all 22. It's like all these big people mash up, and you're like, you have no idea what's happening. So, but I like to watch. Well, again, like I grew up watching Elway play. I like to watch the ball fly. So Terrell Davis, running too. But yeah, no, give me an offensive. Give me 30, give me 32-28 or something like that, all day long. Touchdowns are fun.
Mike, I feel compelled. I have to tell you this because I have the opposite story of what you told. So my dad and I went to Jacksonville for the playoff game under Brandon Staley a couple of years ago, where we go up by 28 points. And we happened to be in Jacksonville. It was 32 degrees. It was so cold. Obviously, like, they're Jacksonville fans, but we happen to be sitting by the only other Charger fan in the whole section. And he's this college kid who's from Atlanta, has never been to San Diego, like the team because of LaDainian Tomlinson. And he starts losing his mind. And what I mean by that is he starts doing Duval chants at Jacksonville fans. Like he starts getting into it as much as possible at halftime. And my dad and I have been Charger fans our whole life. We're like, dude, you need to stop. We've been through this game before. Like, hopefully we win and we go to Kansas City and all that. But like, you need to stop. He does it throughout the whole second half. And then all of a sudden it starts to turn and Jacksonville fans start throwing soda at him, start dumping popcorn on him. They wouldn't let him leave. Like there was at one point, one guy was like, I will find you later and I will make sure you do not get home safe. And so the guy left halfway through the fourth quarter. He just dipped. He's like, I got to go to the bathroom and then never came back.
Probably a good idea.
That's my fact. But my last question for you, and this is what we can end on, is what's your number one hot take going into the 2026 season? Like, what do you feel most passionate about that people aren't talking about?
I think my Evan Ingram being like the breakout player is pretty hot. I think my hot take is it's obviously a Broncos take. I'm not a hot take guy, but I do think it's J.K. Dobbins. Like 1,200 to 1,300 yards. I really feel like he's going to finish in the top 5 of rushing this league, which the Broncos sorely need. There's nobody that believes that's going to happen except for me. I think like they're expecting this guy to play 5 games and then he'd be hurt for the rest of the season. But yeah, as far as hot takes go, I don't know, man. I let other guys do that stuff. I was accused of making a hot take today, but I can't remember what it was. It was probably something really lame. You know, this is what you guys get for calling me legendary before I come on the phone. I'm like the most chill, like down to earth guy. Like hot takes. I make fun of hot takes. I don't even do hot takes, but yeah, I just probably my craziest, prediction, I guess, is just JK dominating the run game. Well, the guy was averaging 5 yards a carry. He was on pace for almost 1,400 yards last year when he went out. So yeah, that's I'm sticking with that one in my Evan Ingram take. I could say that I could make one up. Would that be better for the show if I just make up something really bad? No,
you do what you feel. If you have a really bad one, you can say it. How about this? I'll say it for you. The Raiders are winning the AFC West.
See, that would be. I don't think that would be a hot take. I would describe that as delusional or crazy.
Silly. Yeah, silly.
But it's certainly a possibility, and we've seen that before. It is possible. So, and that's the beauty of football. It could happen. So my hot take is, I think the Raiders will win the Super Bowl this year for sure. Yeah, I'm going with that. I love that.
My favorite one is to say the Patriots aren't actually good and miss the playoffs this next year.
I have the Patriots going 9-8 next year. So is that a hot take? I don't know. I went through their schedule twice and came up with the same result. I either came up with 8-9 or 9-8, and I was trying to be nice. Like I don't know. We'll see.
It makes Patriot fans feel
back to haunt me, but I think the Bills take the AFC East. And I think, obviously I think the Patriots will be there but I could see them missing the playoffs this year and all 3 out of the AFC West making the playoffs. So, but we'll revisit this. Have me back on
absolutely
over the bye week. What is that? What's our bye week? 10?
I think 10.
10.
Yeah.
Have me back on from that. And then, what I probably should do is have all of you guys on my show the week we play your team to put your ass on the spot like you did mine.
I'll come on anytime. I held my tongue on my takes, so we're all good.
I am going to ask you some questions, and then I want to get your takes, and I'm going to love every minute of it. So same for Chiefs. And, the Raiders guy we're going to talk about because he didn't show up. I mean, he knew I was on the show, right?
Yeah,
he did.
Oh, yeah.
We even told him you're legendary, and he decided not to come.
He heard legendary, and he still didn't come, or did he get scared? Man, I was really... It's crazy because I was so nice to the Raiders tonight, which is very out of character for me.
He's going to make sure to probably clip a lot of those and make sure to put those on the socials.
Just those. But even the Broncos love the Raiders this year, man.
Yeah.
They are so scared of the Raiders.
No, that what you just said. That's what's getting clipped.
That's
good
gonna
clip.
be yeah.
Yeah, clip this, buddy. Clip this. Hey, don't hang up when we go off, though. I want to have just a word with you guys before we hang up. So.
Yeah, so real quick, go ahead and tell everyone who's watching tonight where they can find you at, and maybe get details on when they can watch you.
Yeah, you just take I-76 out of Denver, come right up, follow it all the way, till you hit the middle of nowhere, look for the Carmellini Ranch, and come on over. There's always food and drink, and a fire is always on, so everybody's welcome. Oh, you meant my show? Oh, the show, yeah.
I mean, I'm not against that. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, everybody's invited here. So right here it says Mike_Carmellini. If you just find my Twitter, and then you'll see my shows on there. If you like, if you want to see more about the Broncos on my show, it's Mile High Monsters. You'll find that all over that Twitter feed. So yeah, and I see a lot of guys I know in here, and hopefully, guys, I'm telling you, I told you this on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to these guys. It's a great show. I'm holding you to it. I'll be watching. I'm going to be watching you guys over there. Yeah, I see you, Cody. I see you, Cornbread. You guys know who I'm talking about. So yeah, this is a fantastic show. You guys got a great show. It's going to blow up. I know that for you. And yeah, come back anytime you guys like. And yeah, find me on Twitter, and then you'll find the rest of my stuff. So
perfect.
Yeah, perfect. And again, guys, thanks, Mike, again for joining us tonight. So again, we're recording live out of the JBW Solutions Studios. Thank you to Jeff and his team for being our #1 sponsor, along with Angie and her team at Emporia State Federal Credit Union, Troy and his team over at Field Ops Kansas. Make sure you guys give Troy and his team a call for your court and field markings today.
And then I just want to give love to our other Broncos co-host, Matt, who is currently deployed right now in the Navy. We miss you, buddy. It was good to hear from you today, though, but we always want to make sure we give you a shout out at least once every episode, letting you know we miss you, we love you, hope you come home safe, and we can't wait for it. But other than that, we appreciate what you do for us, buddy.
And we will see you all next week. So thanks again, Mike, and we'll see you next time.